It's the Headless Buddha here, feeling quite headless. A rainy Gold Coast evening. Well, it's early morning now. So if my one obligation is to be me, I'm doing it. Why does it feel like I'm still working at it? How do I let go of all the judgments and expectations I have on myself? How do I change the story? Because I feel like I have to change the story. It feels like the story has been so far that Louise Moriarty is not enough. She's never enough. She's always working at being, at becoming, at, as we were talking about yesterday, you know, whatever kills you, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I keep hearing that, and I keep hearing people question the reality of that for them. And I know that I have lived by that motto, that, you know, in that transformation there is something holy occurring, something divine manifesting me as more than I am now, and that one day I will be like an angel of light, perfect in all my actions and interactions. Yeah. And there is this sense that when I'm on purpose, I will be doing something more than what I do now. That being on purpose will look different, will involve me taking a stand in a different way, will involve me being more like other people than myself. And it's funny because all these things, when we say them out loud, they seem a little crazy. Even being awake seems a little bit crazy. I've got a Circus Works t-shirt on underneath here. And that's interesting because even at the moment, I'm finishing up a program that I've been working on for quite a few years, 4 years or so. It's called Confidence at Play, and it's in schools with kids. And I don't know, like even with that, every time we did it, there was a sense that it was evolving and growing, and there was somewhere for it to go to become a finished product. And even when I say that, it's crazy. Like the kids weren't sitting around waiting for something to align with the planets. They were just there in the moment, having a ball, taking what we offered and running, you know, like having a ball. Having their experience. And it's really funny, like, even that sense of, I say to them quite often, you have to know why you do what you do, but what if you don't? What if there's something else going on where you don't have to know why you do what you do, and being is enough? And that what feels like it's missing is just that we're not trusting ourselves and doing, and again, it's like there's no, if I trust myself, I will get it right. I guess the thing is, I'm totally struggling to talk about it because it's outside of the paradigm I've lived in all my life. It is, although I've talked about being in the present and being in the now, and have been being myself forever or whatever, it's like, what would it really take for me to trust myself and take full responsibility for now? No more excuses, no more kind of dodging my own obligation to me. And the funny thing is, this is what it looks like. It's that sense of it's not necessarily going to look the way you want it to look, and it's not necessarily going to be the way you want it to be. It is what it is, and our lives are what they are. I think I just, I keep going back to that kind of quiet desperation that, that quiet desperation that we feel like we can't just be who we are because something will be exposed that is not palatable or that will be judged as wrong. And ironically, in the end, it feels like it's only us looking at ourselves and going, it's not good enough. There's more for me to do. There's more for me to gain. I was at this amazing Gold Coast literary luncheon the other day, and there was all these different published authors, and of course, every single one of them was different. Their books were different. Their way of writing in the world was different. Some of them did children's books. Some of them told the story of their lives. Some of them did non-fiction. Some of them did moralistic tales. Some of them did entertaining tales. One lady, she had children's picture books, a dissertation on terrorism, a teenage book about being a burn victim, just the most extraordinary collection of her ways of expressing herself and expressing for other people as well. Some of us had a real intention around our work, why we're doing what we do, why our writing comes out, feeling like there's a deep purpose in our work. Other people, had decided to turn their writing into a career. It was a decision to change careers, and that seemed like something that could be viable and feasible for them. In that room, as many different people as there were, the product that they created in their writing was so unique and so perfect. If you've never listened to me before, that is the Tugun Pause. I'm in Tugun at the Gold Coast, right near the airport, and we have a lot of planes flying over. So as I was saying, in as much as you cannot hold those books up next to each other and compare them to each other, you cannot. You can compare yourself to other people, but you will always be feeling like you've done yourself a disservice, really. And me and Mel have just got this beautiful little flyer that says, "You are a gift." And I love the little quote on the back by Anonymous. It says, "Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing it's stupid." And I love that quote because I really feel like I've spent my whole life judging. It's not just judging myself. It's definitely judging the world as if it should be something else. And there is something really to be said for accepting things how they are. Like, that battle with reality is incredibly exhausting. And something Mel was saying yesterday on Facebook was, it's not to go, I don't care what's happening. I don't care what's happening in the world. But what's happening in the world is happening in the world. And yes, if a certain element of it keeps being in your face, like for me, it's very much young people and teenagers, like their need to have space and their need to have freedom to explore who they are, to have a space where the rules don't apply to them in the same way so they can explore. But to do that, so for me, that's something that just pops up a lot. And I know it's in my purpose. Like tomorrow, I'm going to do my circus works with them. So, and I feel like that's a beautiful space for them to explore their physical boundaries, to explore their emotional boundaries, to explore their mental boundaries, to be daring, to try new things. It gives them a space where they can explore who they are. And so to give them that space with acceptance of who they are, to take out that story, the story which I've had for a long time, that they are having this experience to become something else. They may never become something else. This planet may never become something else. But the thing is, it's that thing of what's the loudest point for you, because if the loudest point is the environment, if the loudest point is disadvantaged children, if the loudest point is balancing the books, if the loudest point is whatever it is out in the world, there's a kind of sense that that gives you space to be you right now, to do what it is and be who it is you are here to be. And it's not to find the reason for being as such. It's not like you need to have your purpose sorted out and be on track. It does feel like, though, we all want to have those moments where we sense the interconnectedness of it all. And it's not to restore the interconnectedness of it, but so many of us have not been given the story that we are interconnected in a way that needs us to do nothing at all but be and expand. See, even when I say and expand our awareness is expansive. Our awareness is extraordinary. And I want to, it's funny because I've been driving to work every day this week, and during the drive I turn the car radio on, and of course I get talkback radio shows, and I get the news, and I get the traffic jams, and I get the possible showers of the weather, and there's a whole range of information. I get some fabulous songs, but also a lot of them about breaking up is hard to do, and if only things would change, or things are changing and I'm becoming better. I'm nearly ready to shine. And then everywhere I go, my experience of the world is very different to the dialogue on the radio. The dialogue on the radio is pointing to terror and people upset and money tight, and all those things can be as true as I want, but the story that I'm being told is not the story that I'm experiencing. And I feel like I can take on as much or as little of that story as I want. And sometimes it suits me to take on some of that story. Oh, poor me, I don't have any money. Oh, I'm in debt. Oh, it's terrible. I can't do anything I want to do. So for me, that works for me. At some level, that's working for me. And I was thinking about it yesterday. I was thinking, if I had never got in debt, I would find it very hard to ask for help. I would have not had the opportunity to ask for help. And I'm not saying it in the way of whatever kills me makes me stronger, but being in debt has made me go, people trust me to lend me money to get me out of it. People care about me because they've given me something that I think is very valuable. to show, you know, somewhere it was the very thing that showed me my worth, even though I've been whinging on about it for quite a while as well, about going, I'm in debt, it's terrible, it's terrible. There's another part of me that it's actually served, and it served me well. And I feel like I keep reifying heart alchemy like it's something out there, but it is very much something in here. It is the way we are made. It is the way we are. And in that, it is this level of trust that allows you to recognize yourself as a living master. And it allows you to recognize anything that's happening for you as just what it is. You don't have to make sense of it. You don't have to make meaning of it. You can be engaged in your conversation with the cosmos, and that means whatever's happening for you is perfect. And I know I've screamed at this and rallied against it. And I think that the sense I'm getting of that is because I'm not really very good at taking responsibility, or I've been dodging responsibility all my life. There's always been a partner to blame, or a culture to blame, and even somewhere myself to blame is just another, you know, that sense of, if I was a better person, I would have done this differently. If only I could learn to be a better person, I would do this differently. Even that, it's like copping out on letting myself be. I love the idea that we affect each other. I love the idea that we can be muses to each other. But I was listening to a new song from the Lamplights the other day, and that was very much about, you know, girl, what you're looking for out there, boom, boom. You are it. You are it. Because you're the filter through which you see all of that. And 1 minute that muse can be the most powerful, cathartic, exciting, stimulating, powerful being on the planet. The next minute, they can be your nemesis. They can be, you know, the story becomes that they are the one thing that's making it impossible for you to reach enlightenment or to become the person you wanted to be. It feels like that polarity is inherent in wherever we put the responsibility outside of ourselves. I'm really fascinated this week. I've been, you know, I've been going to a couple of different places on the Gold Coast that I've never been before. And one of them was like a golf course development, and the other one was right near a school where I've worked a lot. And it was really beautiful to be on the land and experiencing it from a different vantage. Like where we are is very much near the ocean, and there are hills, so you always kind of have that perspective of either you're looking out over this vast expanse or you're looking up to the hills. But this place, both these places are kind of in hollows, were, you know, in more of a depression in the land. So you just have this other complete, it's almost a sense that you're in one of those snow dome kind of toys. You're in a different place. And once again, it's all about perspective. I'm going to myself, I've never been here before. Let me look at this place from a new and interesting vantage point. Let me explore this place as a new territory for me. And I've been struggling a bit lately because a lot of you know I've been over to Colorado which I loved. And when I'm out on a new adventure, meeting new people, I get stimulated, no end. It's very exciting. When I came back, it felt like something was missing. And I was looking, I feel like I just kept looking at things like they're done. And in a sense, you know, that's how I've been assessing the world. I've done my purpose here. I've moved on. I've reconnected song lines. I've done whatever it is I have to do here. This, you know, this is done for me. And so within every place I was going, or every interactions as well, there was kind of a sense of my job is done here. I've learned what I can from this place or this person. And then a kind of a, you know, almost a discarding of the person or place, feeling like it served its purpose with me. Which kind of worked for me, because it was that sense of I'm always moving on to something new. I'm always having a new assessment of things. I'm learning something new. I'm going into new frontiers and having new experiences. And I think a lot of us do that. You know, we change jobs, we change partners, we're moving through life at quite a rapid rate. And I guess it's not to make it wrong, but I know for a lot of us, it feels kind of, there's this empty feeling that we can't quite put our finger on, and we can't figure out why. That emptiness can sometimes descend on us in this all-pervasive kind of way. And I talk a lot in all of us and how it feels for everyone. And I feel like that is definitely part of my job. But at the same time, I'm looking at the whole heart alchemy paradigm and going, yes, every moment is unique. Yes, every person is unique. But I still feel like there is some way to touch a lot of people at the same time, to resonate. You know, great writers tell stories that last and live in the hearts of people. And yet, it is only the person reading them having the experience. The writer is long gone. The person reading the book is having their own experience, interpreting it their own way. For some people, this universe, I feel like, is feeling very paradoxical at the moment. There is that sense of, I am this powerful being. I am this amazing creature doing my work on the planet and experiencing so much and being so blessed in so many ways. And then there are these days of not getting out of bed and feeling like no matter what I do, I won't be good enough. I won't hit the mark, kind of thing. And I think the most powerful thing in the perfect present experience that me and Mel have created is that sense that there's someone there reinforcing over and over again that whatever configuration or crazy the divine made you, it's perfect. You, in all your unique idiosyncrasies, are perfect. And as we were saying at the beginning, you know, holding yourself up against a bird and going, am I as good as a bird yet? Am I as good as a bird? Am I as good as a fish? Am I swimming as well as a fish? It's not the right measuring stick. It's not the measuring stick. If you could measure yourself up against whether you're being you, you would find you can only say yes. It doesn't matter if you're having a tantrum in the corner, if you're doing your so-called gift, You are the gift. There's no doing the gift in the end. I mean, of course, we all do the things we love to do, and we all do go into areas where we want to be of service, and we do serve. I did something funny the other day. I interviewed my mum, and I interviewed her for my sister's birthday because I couldn't think of anything else to give my sister. And it was really strange because, you know, I wanted her to be a particular way, probably. I was looking for something. I was looking for stories about why she was the way she was. And she just was her. She continued to be her, no matter which way I probed her, so to speak, which way I questioned her. She continued to be my mum, exactly how my mum is, like really just her. And it was kind of a really telling thing for me. And I think in the stories she gave, I appreciated her a lot more. And I find that really interesting because I equally value that sense of giving someone a poem and acknowledging who you see them as. But I also love that sense of interviewing people and questioning them and finding out what stories they're telling on any given day, what stories they're telling about themselves, what stories they've got about their life. I love trying to put those two things together, that sense of how I see them to be and how they truly are, how they see themselves to be. It feels like, I don't know, because for me, those things do feel very different, you know, the way I see people and the way they see themselves. Somewhere it feels like there's this spark. Oh, my goodness, I'm yawning this morning. My eyes look very red. It's a miracle that I'm awake on this rainy early morning. And next week on this day, I will be on a train in Colorado again. So to make your journey in life a conversation with the cosmos. It feels like to me I'm still kind of having the conversation with myself, which is a bit apparent in this interaction. And there's somewhere I would love to be more having a conversation with the cosmos. And it feels like I am always tweaking my conversation, tweaking my way that I frame or reference my experience in the world. And I do get really excited because I think what Einstein is purported as saying is true. You know, we're not going to affect the change we wish to see in this current paradigm through the paradigm that we created. It's going to be, you know, almost a whole new language, almost a whole new way of viewing our experience in the world that is going to be the change we want to see, you know, like, and I think the really powerful thing for me has been to go, actually, it's not change I want to see. It's that self-acceptance, that self-responsibility, that self-love, exactly where I am, without me having to change, without me having to do anything different, without me having to fix the world, to be able to love myself here and now. It's what I'm looking for in the future. Bless me. That was a good little blessing. And you know, when I go out and work with the teenagers and the other kids, I really recognize where all they want is to be seen for who they are right now. They don't want me to give them a lesson that's going to make them a better person. They want me to see them right there with me in all our amazingness, in all our, you know, it just makes me think of a diamond, really. It just makes me think of that metaphor of, you know, the many-faceted gem. And this moment is that many-faceted gem, and we are one shining edge of it. And as they say with diamonds, you know, there are imperfections, but it's not an imperfection. It is the unique nature of that diamond. It is what it is, and it is inherently valuable exactly as it is, telling the story it's telling, the way it is, perfect. So I offer you this opportunity to take an experiment this week and see if you can go through life. And it is, it's not going, I'm right. It's not going, I'm doing this right. I'm getting it right. It is that subtle shift of paradigm to this is perfect. This conversation with the cosmos that I've been given, this way of being in the world that I am. How can I, you know, not even how, just experience it. Let your full senses range over it. Play with the moment. I had the privilege, and I'm going back to this school today, of watching kids playing in a sandbox, which you don't see that much often. But a few of the schools I go to at the moment have big sandboxes for the kids to play in, and how they immerse themselves in their designs, how they immerse themselves in the creation and the destruction, how they immerse themselves and there's no questioning whether a particular activity is right or wrong, or if it's not finished yet. There is just the sheer joy in the pulling it down. That's enough of that one. Right, next thing, we're going to build a tunnel now. We're going to dig a hole. We're going to pile the sand up. We're going to put it in our shoes. You know, it really doesn't matter. There's no assessment of the activity. It's time for me to go and get a cup of coffee and wake up properly. I find it funny that I get to do these ramblings early in the morning when I haven't put my DJ face on. Um, um, I am so excited that we are getting more people signing up for our free information about heart alchemy. And our 10 commitment ebook is really fabulous for you to start having that, start exploring the conversation with where you would like to change the language, because I think that's the thing that's really come apparent for me is there's a lot of people out there
finding themselves saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And then going, hang on, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I don't know if that's true for me anymore. And in that, I don't know if it's true for me anymore, they're really acknowledging it was true for them. It worked for them. There was a sense that they were improving themselves and they were part of the evolution on the planet and life was getting better. But now there's this, it feels like there's an inkling for them that something else is happening and something else, that some other story is going to take the place of that. So I really encourage you to keep exploring the language you use, the way you let yourself, the way you give yourself permission to experience your life and to be present right now to the gift that you are. So you can find us on www.miraclesandwonderdownunder.com, and I trust you have a fabulous day. Thanks for sharing the morning with me.